Hello, everybody. I'm Jonathan Coachman, and this is Super Bowl Sunday on EA Sports. Up next, we've got a good one on tap between the visiting Houston Texans and the Los Angeles Rams. With that, it's time for Super Bowl 53. For the call, let's go to Atlanta, as it is my pleasure to hand it over to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis, beyond thrilled to be bringing you the Super Bowl. All the pomp, all the circumstance, all the pageantry. It doesn't get any better than this, partner.
I'm loving sharing this booth with you, sharing this moment, this type of a game. For all the teachers who said we'd never make it, we're here.
And we talk these last couple weeks about the buildup, the anticipation. I think these guys are just ready to get out there and get this thing started.
And I know that both coaching staffs have spent considerable time trying to figure out how to best bring their team up to a peak without taking them over the edge and causing a lot of issues early in the game.
And you don't think much of a pregame speech is needed for this one?
I think the pregame speeches were the shortest all year. If they didn't just say, let's go get them, guys, they probably talked too much.
Years after Joe Namath and the guarantee, we are underway in Super Bowl 53. This will be taken in at the 1. And with a marker down, he's up just past the 25-yard line, but I think they're going to be going backwards. Let's check the call.
Holding, receiving team.
Well, that holding call set him up with not great field position.
Not at all when you tack on the penalty. With that field position after the return wasn't terrific. It's not a great starting field position as well.
Now Goff will hand this one to Gurley. And he'll take this one up over the 20 to the 21-yard line. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down. And, Charles, despite this list of key inactives that we see here, they've obviously still been pretty successful.
Give everyone credit for this one, because to me, when that happens, key guys are out, the next man steps up and plays well, but that starts with the organization itself, all the way through. No excuses for guys being out, finding guys who are capable backups who can step up and play when they need them, and we've seen the results of that. This team knows how to work through things.
He lost 2 there, and it's third down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, nothing but room to run.
Now gone. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Kayvon Webster on the defensive side able to get a hand in.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
Take it about the 16. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. So out come the Texans for their opening drive. And they will be led out by their 6'4" quarterback.
And what's a quarterback's best friend?
Balance?
I think you're right. I agree with you. You know, a lot of guys would say great receiver, right? A terrific offensive line. But I agree with you, balance, because if you can run the ball effectively, that just opens things up for guys who want to throw it and gives you easier passing lanes and easier coverages to read.
And they said balance will be a focus in this one.
Yeah, they don't want it all just heaped on his shoulders, I don't believe. I think they want to make sure they take some of the pressure off.
They go play action here on 1st down. On the move to his left. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well.
Personal
I think
foul.
This one's going to be a face mask.
Face mask. Defense.
So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face
Automatic
mask.
1st down.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they'll march off another 15 against your squad.
So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10. They'll run it with West. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. They'll run with Foreman. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40. And let's look here at the Houston offense.
Despite a rookie season cut short with a torn Achilles, Deontay Foreman showed flashes of being a big-time running back in the NFL. In college, he looked like a runaway freight train, a big guy that not many people wanted to get in front of. That didn't change in the NFL. Once he got a little bit of room and started to rumble, people had to make business decisions in the secondary.
They'll run it now. This is Charkandrick West. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
So it's 3rd and long, and defensively not a real surprise. They're in the dive. They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. Throw right side into the hands of Akins. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
That's certainly playing down and distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
The Texans send the punter out as he's on here to punt it away. And good hustle here as this is going to be blown dead right at the 9-yard line. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
They'll try and start the drive with Gurley. And strong running there gets this up over the 15-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
Next, the receivers helped spread the defense out, and they were able to come through with a slashing run.
But to that point, it's going to be interesting to see the personnel chess match as this one progresses.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Can they continue to create running lanes out of passing sets? And if so, it's going to be a long day for the defense.
A play fake to Gurley. Now gone. It's caught by his tight end, Gerald Everett. And mark him down way up close to the 40 at the 39. 23 yards on the play.
There's so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? That sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. On 1st down, gone. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete.
Holding offense.
So that one a hold right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often, because that can be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. From the gun, here's Goff. Open man right side is cut, complete. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. It's a solid pickup of 11, and it's 2nd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go, because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Now a draw as Goff gives to Gurley. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he's stopped behind the line of scrimmage. We've become so accustomed to it, you sort of take it for granted.
You really do, but he is so good that every team in his division, every year, is trying to make sure they draft people charged with trying to block J.J. Watt. So far, hasn't been too successful.
The threat of a 2nd straight punt to start the game is looming as they come up 3rd and 10. Throwing on 3rd, Goff. And this one is incomplete.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, 1st quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. And the Texans set to come onto the field. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that can put your team in some jeopardy?
The drive begins with a handoff to West. And he'll get this up over the 25 to the 26. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4. To throw on 2nd down, here's Webb. Now, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Mark Barron coming in hard on the blitz. He gets him down for a loss of 4.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Flex round! Flex round! Ohio!
Webb now from the gun. He finds his target, Fuller. He was a 1,000-yard receiver during the regular season, and that's his first catch of this Super Bowl, and he picks up the first down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Now West, and he's got room. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
West. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's no gain on the play, and they'll remain a few inches shy of a first with 3rd down looming. The starters on defense here for Los Angeles.
Becoming one of the better lockdown corners in the league is Marcus Peters, and I first noticed him when he was in college at the University of Washington. Very intelligent player, understands route combinations, how teams can attack him, and how about what he's done in the NFL? 19 interceptions in 3 seasons, 5 more than anyone else in the league has had. That gap is absolutely staggering.
Here we go! What? None! What? None!
On 3rd down, it's West, and he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. Officially a gain of just a yard there, but they do convert on 3rd and inches.
I always appreciate runners who understand situations. That was just 3rd and inches. No reason to dance around in the backfield and try and break off a bigger play. Just go pick up the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
Here we go! Brand 38!
Now a play fake here on first down. And he'll find Akins there, complete. And he'll be brought down just shy of the line. A good pickup there, 8-yard.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? And they're freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Field, that's complete. And he'll get it on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive. Early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because Number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger game. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over to the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
On the toss, there goes Wentz. And he got blown up, losing yardage on the play back at the 44. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. Good opening quarter for him. Remember, he had the sack earlier. Now a tackle for loss, another tackle for loss.
He's really making it tough on the play call, though, isn't he? Because it's one thing.
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it's Texans football as we get going in quarter number 2. But they face a second and long to start things out.
Flex round! Flex round! Come on, let's go! What? 90! What? 90!
Webb. And that is incomplete.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. The Texans on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 11.
Flex round! Flex round! Flex round! Flex round!
Out of the gun, it's Webb. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Marcus Peters. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
Now this offense ready to head back out there. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
After the interception, here's Goff. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. Christian Covington able to get in there and take him down for a loss of 3.
You know, on these types of plays, we're always looking to assess blame. Okay, where did it break down? Sometimes it's just a great play.
But following the sack, they'll try to change their fortune here on 2nd and 13. They go play action with Gurley. Now gone. And the pressure gets to him again.
So, Brandon, we've sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
A shotgun snap for Goff. 40 before he's out of bounds. A heck of a play there on third down, but amazingly, they're still short for 4th.
I think the training and practice broke down on that play because he simply didn't run the route deep enough to get to the first down marker, despite what was a really nice catch and toe tap on the sideline.
Yeah, that's third down 101. You got to go to the marker, know where it is. Here's Johnny Hacker now as he's on to punt for L.A. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. And now out comes Houston. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
Here we go! What?
They begin here with a run by West. Room here to run. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there. Second down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
On second down, Webb. And he's going to be taken down. Sacked back at the 2. Bryce Hager coming on the blitz. He gets him for a loss of 7.
Well, if an offense is going to throw the ball on this part of the field, any pass rusher will tell you that's his favorite part. Gets a chance to get after the quarterback. It's almost like a reverse red zone. They can create points using their defense, and this time they take their man down.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
And indeed, that's what they'll do as they run it here. And not much there as he gets it up to about the 5-yard line. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down. Well, they did go run, so you were right. Maybe a little more breathing room for 4th down.
Well, no one wants to be accused of playing it safe, right? But instead, they would just reverse it and say, we're playing it smart.
The Texans send the punter out as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. So a short drop, but he's able to get it out, and this is a good kick. Taking it about the 36.
Personal foul. Roughing the kicker. Defense.
They knew they were going to have great field position, went all out, got a little too aggressive.
And you have to understand your angles. They're cut down when they're that backed up. You've got to be careful going after him.
So a big break. The roughing the kicker called on 4th down leads to 1st and 10.
Let's go! Grand 38! Grand 38!
To throw, Webb. His throw incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
After the incompletion, they'll try once more from the 20-yard line on 2nd and 10. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Webb, throw left side complete. It's Fuller. And he's able to get up here to the 26. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
The Texans on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This time it's 3rd and 3.
Come on, let's go!
Now Webb. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, and that could have been trouble.
I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it, somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atone for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now. Goff will lead the Rams up here 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. They'll fake the handoff. Now Goff. And the open receiver, it's Robert Woods. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. On 1st down, it's Gurley. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
On 2nd down, here's Goff. Throw right side is into the hands of his tight end, Everett. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
From the gun on 3rd down, Goff. And got him in, it's Woods. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. That one goes for 29 yards on 3rd down. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
They'll be brought down at the 21 after a pickup of 4.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on 2nd down. Here's Goff now on 2nd down. Out left, he's got it to Everett. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 3 catches for him now in the first half of this Super Bowl. It's a 1st down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
This will be the first red zone opportunity now for the Rams. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 11. Now Goff. And his throw's going to be incomplete. That time trying to find Gerald Everett. And it's 2nd down. Defensively, Charles, they continue to really limit this offense as far as yardage goes.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been assignment sound, staying in their lanes, keeping proper leverage, and communicating well, too.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. On the draw, Goff gives to Gurley. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. Just a couple there on the 2nd down run. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8 situation. Earlier this half, you were wondering how the defense was going to handle him defensively. Were they going to bottle him up at different levels, so to speak, is what you said. What have you seen so far?
Well, I think they've been absolutely terrific because it feels like on every play, if we were watching this in the film room, when he clicked off the film or stopped it, you would see 11 shirts of that same color right there in the frame trying to tackle it. That's what you're looking for.
And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
So still no touchdowns in the first half, but we do have some action on the scoreboard with the field goal. So
maybe now the mentality changes in this game because anytime you get to the red zone and if you don't come away with 6 points, you feel like it's a disappointment. In a game like this one, being able to kick field goals means you're right there, and then you're just looking for that big break to take you over the top.
Getting set to go again, DeAndre Hopkins marches back onto the field. You better believe that he's well aware he has 0 catches right now, and they're losing, so he's probably a little hungry.
And you know the guys on defense are aware as well. And they're really excited he has no catches, but they're also worried. Because a lot of times, that's like the ticking time bomb. The longer you hold him down, when he finally explodes, look out.
Yeah, no catches, though, so far in this game. He was a 1,000-yard receiver during the regular season, and that's his first catch of this Super Bowl, and he picks up the first down. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We'll come back on Super Bowl Sunday after this. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman, both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
A big one there for the Texans, 18 yards.
I think the last 2 plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those 2 that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. Now a first down throw, Webb. Eluding the pressure right. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 11 more on that one and another first down.
Containing him is becoming a big problem. We've already seen this once earlier in this drive.
Yeah, and so now 2 times this has happened. Do you adjust something?
Yeah, I think you do. I think you got to start thinking about your rush lanes. Try not to either get too wide or too narrow. Make sure someone is there waiting for him to take off.
Here's Webb. This is caught. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston, with a first touchdown of Super Bowl 53. And the Texans are in for 6.
And while that touchdown does not give them an insurmountable lead, it's still a lead, and that always feels good to a team.
They'd love to take that into the lockers, but a little time left on that clock, so some work to do.
I like that. I like how you're guarding against a letdown there.
Marty looking forward.
Coaching them up from right up here in the booth.
Kaimi Fairbairn on for the extra point. Fairbairn good with the extra point, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. Fairbairn now to kick this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here. As the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number one. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Now a first down throw. Gone. And he just gets rid of it. Throws it away. The wise move there. Looked like nobody open. Now second down.
Well, one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. Back to the air. Goff on second down. Dumps it off to Gurley. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But it looked like a Rams player was able to get his hands on it, yes. So they will hold on to the football indeed. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is second and long. Throwing again is gone. He gets it to Gurley, complete. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. So we've come upon halftime here in Super Bowl 53. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. What a season this has been. Hard to believe it ends tonight, as we'll get back to you guys for the second half of this Super Bowl in just a moment. It has been a remarkable first season in the studio for me. I want to thank you guys so much as I send it over one final time for the second half call of Super Bowl 53 to Brandon and Charles in Atlanta.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The halftime show, quite a spectacle, but it's back to football for the second half of Super Bowl 53. This fielded at the 2. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. They have the lead now. They'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else. So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1.
Come on, let's go! Grand 38!
Now Webb. And the hit jarred loose. It's incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. They tried to throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1.
Come on, let's go! Grand 38!
This is West. And he will have the first down as he gets this to the 47. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Come on, let's go! What? 90! What? 90!
Right back to him on 1st down. He'll get about 4 here, down to the 43-yard line. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
To throw on second down, here's Webb. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But I think a Texan player was able to get his hands on it, and they will indeed hold on to the ball and the possession.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
The Texans on third down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This will be third and forever. Webb now from the gun. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. And Ndamukong Suh with a big-time sack on third down. And it'll be a loss of 7.
How about that, partner? His second sack of the game, and that puts him in some pretty good company. 17 guys have had 2 sacks in the previous 52 Super Bowls, but only 3 have had the record number of 3 sacks in this game.
And we've got the list here. If he gets another one and everyone behaves nicely, we might just list those out for him. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Rams will go on offense here with a 1st and 10. Out come the Rams. They'll have it first here to begin the third quarter. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance really to set the tone here in quarter 3.
They can really take charge, can't they? And this is probably how it was drawn up at the half. I think we can go inside the locker room, all right? And I think we would see up on the grease boards, stop them defensively, get the ball back for the offense, and let's go downfield and score. Seems simple, right? The last part, we have to find out that's going to happen. But the first part worked to perfection. Did exactly what they wanted, and now their offense has to pay it off.
See if they can get the latter 50%. Looking this time for Woods, and it's intercepted. Zach Cunningham with a pick. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line. Woods, the intended receiver.
Offensively, when you see cover 2, the thought has to go through the quarterback's head. Drive the football when making throws. It's not just the deep guys covering. It's the guys underneath you have to be careful of. Drive your throw. Otherwise, you see what results? Interceptions.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston 1st down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
They go play action here on 1st down. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides, where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Webb. Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29. Aaron Donald in there to sack him for a loss of 6.
We are seeing 2 really confident defenses imposing their will on these offenses in this game.
Yeah, absolutely, going toe for toe. Just curious if one of these offenses can wake up a little bit.
Is there any way they can find something that can pop, something big to knock them back on their heels?
And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. From the gun, Webb. throw, but incomplete.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he led him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
The kick by Fairbairn is good. And they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3. So he splits the uprights, and has to be a nice feeling. Right when it left his foot, knew it was good.
Yeah, just like a good three-point shooter in basketball, right? Release the ball, fall back on defense without even looking. You know it's going in the hoop.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Getting set to go again here on offense, Jared Goff trots back onto the field. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
Time to establish the run game here. Gurley. And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24. Kayvon Webster there to make the tackle.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now whistles and a flag down. I think one of the Rams linemen might have moved.
False start, offense.
That's going to set him back 5 yards. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. Second down and long. From the gun, here's Goff. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Whitney Merciless. In from his linebacker's spot. He's able to drop him for a loss of about 10. So Goff, he'll try to refocus after the sack. The Rams now set up with a tough one, a 3rd and long. Out of the gun, Goff. It's hauled in by Brandon Cooks. And he's able to get up here to the 26. It'll be a pickup of 16, but they'll remain short of the marker, and it's 4th down.
I don't know how many times, not just in my playing career, but you and I working together, have we ever heard a coach say, you know, I just don't have that play on my call sheet. And that's really what we had here. That was a big hole they were trying to get out of.
Yeah, big gain, still a ways to go, though. And here comes the Texans now. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
Illegal block in the back, offense.
So that one will be accepted. Operating from the gun, Webb. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It's way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for second down.
Ohio! Ohio! Here we go! 1-9!
From the gun, Webb. Flush, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Aaron Donald able to get in there and drop him for a 2-yard loss.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
The Texans on third down. They've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This will be 3rd and a mile.
Here we go! 1-9!
Operating from the gun, Webb. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up 4th down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. Just a 2-yard return there following a punt of 48. And out will come the offense as they take over. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Back to throw, Goff. They'll find Everett there, complete. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Throwing on 3rd. Goff. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Woods. And he's got the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 49. Goff to Woods as the Rams move the chains.
But that's what you're looking for when you're wanting to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Now Goff on 1st down. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of. Otherwise, he was going to get sacked.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Again, Goff. Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
3rd and long. It's gone. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Texans say they have it. They do.
Feels like an accumulation of the pressure we've seen all game. I mean, he's been on the turf a whole lot because of sacks. Eventually, something else happens as well, and this time there was a turnover.
Yeah, caught up to him. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back on the field here. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency. Move the ball at least a few times on offense. Get a couple of 1st downs. and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Let's go. What? 90. What?
On 2nd down, Webb. Escaping the pressure right. 10 yards there, good enough for a Texan first down.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
Took till the second half, but finally a red zone opportunity here. 1st and 10 right at the 20. And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
Another scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
It's the Texans in control of the football and leading this game as well as we start the 4th.
Let's go. Brand 38. Brand 38.
They'll run again here with West. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7. And in this situation with the lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
Come on, let's go. What? 90. What? 90.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this one down near the 15. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. Fairbairn able to put this one through. And they will stretch their lead to 10 now at 13-3. So his 2nd field goal of the game, and that could turn out to be the big one.
Yeah, you have to make them score twice to beat you, and that's not impossible. But here in the 4th quarter, puts their backs clearly against the wall.
Fairbairn now following the made field goal. He'll send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Houston defense we watch as they get set to go. Forced the fumble last time, up on the scoreboard, things going their way.
Things are rocking easy now, and they feel good about themselves, confident, taking the ball away in the last possession. They're going to try and do it again.
So let me ask you, can you be playing free and that can be good, or it can also become bad, right?
I like the way you put it. You're exactly right. It can work both ways. Sometimes you get too loose and give up big plays and not handle your responsibilities. But oftentimes when you're playing free and easy and locked in, as they are today, you see the end result.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. I want to go back to something you said in the first quarter about winning.
Is it a positive?
It is a positive.
Okay.
About winning the turnover battle. As a visiting team, as an underdog, you were right. They've done just that, and look where it's gotten them.
It's part of the formula. When you go on the road, as you mentioned, being an underdog, winning the turnover battle is a big key, and this one's playing out in this one.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10, Goff again. It's caught left side by Cooks. His 2nd catch of the Super Bowl, and it's good enough for a first down.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game. Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. Goff now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. A shotgun snap for Goff. Working the middle here. That's complete to Everett, the tight end. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Seeing that play and understand just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. The Rams on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This time they face a 3rd and 2. They'll try and pick up the first with Gurley. And he's going to go backward. They get him behind the line. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. If they're going to have a shot in this Super Bowl, they're going to need this one on 4th down. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. That's going to be complete to his tight end, Everett. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. Felt compelled to go for it there on 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a 4th down call. Doesn't matter the distance. You stop to get it done, as you noted, and they did.
On 1st and 10, Goff. He'll throw underneath for Gurley. And a pretty little juke move there on a nice gain. Give him 8 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Now Goff. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Dylan Cole. And some room to roam now. And a terrific return as he takes this thing all the way down near the 20-yard line.
Well, you're trailing. It's the 4th quarter, and you've got to throw the football. But the defense knows this, too. So they're just going to sit back, bring in an extra defensive back or two, the old nickel or dime strategy, Brandon, and wait for you to put that bad boy up for grabs. And this one winds up being intercepted.
And now out comes Houston. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, try to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal.
Let's go. 190. 190.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. Only about a yard there as he takes it from the 9 to the 8. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
Here's 2nd and goal, operating from the 8-yard line.
Come on, let's go. Try 38. Try 38.
Webb to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And this will be a touchdown. Joe Webb, his 2nd touchdown of this Super Bowl. And the Texans use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. So a quarterback scramble, certainly a pass play, but he saw something, tucked it, and got in the end zone.
A lot of quarterbacks, when they scramble, they're scrambling to create more time to throw the ball downfield. In this situation, as you noted, he tucked it and took off. Great play by him.
On for the PAT, Kaimi Fairbairn. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And the capper that put it in the end zone, a run of 8 yards. Fairbairn now to kick this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Jared Goff and the Rams headed back onto the field. And that interception that ended their previous drive likely also ended any shot they had at victory.
Yeah, long road back from here, no doubt about that one. But let's face it, if you're going to go out there and compete, you want to try and end on a strong note, don't you?
Absolutely. It won't end in a victory like you said, but they can maybe take something positive out of this one. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
On 2nd and 10, Goff. And they'll set up the screen to Gurley. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. And give him 9 yards on the second down screen play.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid gain.
The Rams on 3rd down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Here's Goff. And this is going to be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Oh, and now movement and a whistle, and they may have to rethink their plans on 4th down.
False start, offense.
Now, 4th and short, had your offense out there. That one stings.
And you know something? Your options change dramatically. Not only is it tougher to go for it, but what if you decided just to line up and try and draw them off sides? If you did it on 4th and short, you could pick up the cheap 1st down. Now, you still won't get a 1st down even if you do exactly the same thing.
Desperation time for Goff on 4th. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. No luck for the Rams as they fail here on 4th down. And the Texans take over an excellent field position. Well, at this stage of the game in the second half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter?
Right.
It really doesn't. They had to go and try and make something happen if they had any chance of winning this game.
And he's got about 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 25. Carry for Foreman, and he'll get a couple here down to the 22.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Again, it's Foreman. And he'll have the 1st down, getting this one to the 14-yard line. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
Well, I don't think there's any question, Brandon, at this stage, The stop troops, the defensive guys, they got to use their 3 timeouts here. They've got to stop them and get the ball back.
Yeah, if you're in that 2 to 3 score deficit window that they're in now, you got to get it ASAP.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Stop them, use your timeouts. Easier to move the ball on offense without timeouts than to stop them on defense without using them.
Here's Foreman, and he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. And Ndamukong Suh makes the tackle.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man.
Let's go. What? 90. What? 90.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
Let's go. What? 90. What? 90.
And they'll go on the ground. Oh, nice move. And he'll keep it moving down to the 15-yard line. A pickup of 7 there, but they'll still have 12 yards to go on 3rd down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Time for a break. We're back to crown a champion after this. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
What? 90. What? 90.
On 3rd down, it's West. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Kaimi Fairbairn now to attempt the Texan field goal. This a 33-yard attempt. The kick by Fairbairn is good. And that will push this lead up to 20 now. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
Fairbairn now following the made field goal. He'll send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once we were down huge, and someone said, Coach, what do you want to call?
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Zach Cunningham with a pick. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Here we go.
Now Foreman. And he'll be brought down just outside of the 30. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. Didn't get to the sticks, but that's an ideal carry there on first down, isn't it?
I mean, now you're 2nd and 1. Although, you know, in the NFL, even if he picked up the first down, I don't think it's a big difference because the clock doesn't stop.
Yeah, not like college.
Right. If it's college football, you want to 2nd and 1 is probably better than picking up the first down because in college football, the clock stops with every first down and actually aids the defense in that situation.
Defense still with 3 timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them here as the kneel down comes. And the Lone Star State has a new champion. It's the Houston Texans, kings of the Super Bowl. And their remarkable season ends in the most remarkable of ways. They get to put next to their name, Super Bowl champion.
And they can't ever take that away, can they?
Nope.
That lasts forever. So good to see the emotion when it's all said and done. You see the hugs. You see the guys sharing, the collective happiness. Makes me want to carry you around a little bit on my shoulders to celebrate the triumph. And congratulations to them. A fantastic season.
And they end this year just how everybody wants to end the year, holding the Lombardi Trophy. What a season for them. What a ride it's been for us as well here in the booth. For Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We will see you next season right here on EA Sports.